Boom! What's up, Familia? Dayspring here with an episode of Power of X-Men to discuss Wave 2 of the X-Men 97 figures. Oh my gosh! I was at a gig yesterday at the Park Avenue Atrium when I got a flood of DMs coming in, and they're like, Dayspring, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, oh gosh, I got canceled again. What did I say now? But it was because they unveiled the Wave 2 of the X-Men 97 figures. And I'm kind of confused by this announcement. So I started getting in blurry shots of the figures. And I was like, well, where is this coming from? I'm not going to post something that it's going to be a leak that's going to piss off the Hasbro team, or it's going to piss off the X-Men 97 team. I'm not going to post anything until, you know, a credible source is talking about it, and then it's free game. But I'm not going to be the first one to leak something. So then someone sent me the link to Marvel.com, and I'm like, Marvel.com revealed the Wave 2 of the X-Men 97 figures, and there are characters in here that haven't officially been announced, and I'm just like, wow. The day before the Hasbro stream, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, we're getting a Hasbro stream today in about 25 minutes. So, wow, why are they revealing this the day before the Hasbro stream? Because if you would have let Ryan, Dan, and Dwight reveal these figures today for the stream, everyone would have lost their shit. So much great hype. It just signals to me that perhaps Marvel, Hasbro, and Marvel Studios are just not talking. No one's on the same page. And you would think a release of the X-Men 97 figures on Marvel.com, they would consult Marvel Studios and they would consult Hasbro for that. I don't know. Is this part of the release strategy? It just seems odd to me. Again, we see here X-Cutioner is there. We haven't even gotten a trailer for the series. Madelyne is there. And of course, Madelyne was already spoiled because there was a pop figure. But these are two major characters that we did not know were going to be in the series. And here they are just being released without even a trailer for X-Men 97. And again, we're getting a Hasbro stream in about 20 minutes because I'm recording this the day after the news broke. And I'm just like, again, why didn't they just hold off until today to reveal these figures? But I don't know. Someone can tell me. Someone can explain this to me in the comments why they would do this ahead. For me, it reads that no one is on the same page. Anyways, so let's read this article. I did skim it really quickly, and I think there's some spoilers in here, by the way. I think there's some big spoilers here. But, you know, if you don't want to be spoiled for X-Men 97, not on me. Just don't read the copy of these figures. But the figures look great. As I've said before on this podcast endlessly, in Beau DeMaio we trust. We know the X-Men in the comic books are getting a reboot in the spring, obviously to coincide with everything going on with X-Men 97, right? We're seeing Marvel 97 variant covers pop up all over. So Marvel itself is getting ready to celebrate X-Men 97. I've heard nothing but good things about the series, and I am of the belief that this series is going to revitalize the X-Men franchise in the way that Jonathan Hickman in House of X and Powers of 10 revitalized the X-Men franchise from a comic book perspective. I think X-Men 97 as a television show on Disney Plus, as head by Beau DeMaio just gets it, is going to revitalize the X-Men franchise, because these are dark days. I've been talking to so many people, and people are like, we're not reading the books. I don't plan on reading the books, you know, especially when Brevoort takes over. So, you know, it's dark days for X-Men, but these figures look so good. The designs look great. Everything about X-Men 97 and I haven't heard much, Familia. Everyone has been so tight-lipped, but everyone just keeps saying, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Don't worry about it. And obviously the Comic-Con footage, I spoke to Agent M, Ryan Penagos, and he was telling me all about the Comic-Con footage that was shown about Cyclops landing on the ground and saying, to me, my X-Men, and everyone coming around him. So we're so excited. Anyways, These figures look great. I mean, this is an instant win for me. I mean, you got Magneto in the purple costume. We have Jean with her pony. We have Cyclops. We have Nightcrawler. We have Madelyne Pryor. Called it. I said if we were going to get a Madelyne Pryor, Familia, I said this. I said if we were going to get a Madelyne Pryor, it was going to be the X-Men 97 version. When I said this a couple days ago, I said based off of the design we saw in her pop outfit, which was the X-Men 97 outfit, and we got it. X-Cutioner! It looks great. Look at, and is that a Friends of Humanity belt he has? We're going to dive into all of it. All right, so let's dive into the article and we'll break down the figures. We'll look at them, but let's read the copy and we'll look at the figures, and then we're going to transition to the Hasbro stream. I think the Hasbro stream is going to be more Wolverine focused. Maybe that's why they released these figures, because they knew the Hasbro stream was going to focus on Wolverine's 50th anniversary. I mean, I still would have. You can have plenty of cake, Hasbro. So I don't know why you wouldn't have just done Wolverine and then a segment for X-Men 97 and just light the internet on fire as we go into the holidays. I think that we are going to see pre-order links for this on Friday. I think Entertainment Earth had said something that there were going to be pre-orders on Friday. This was coming from a friend who sent me that information. So let's see if that pans out. But it says here, available for pre-order in 2024, Hasbro reveals new wave of X-Men 97 figures. Well, Hasbro didn't reveal it. Marvel, you revealed it. So this makes me wonder if the article just ran early. Like some poor intern just like set this a day earlier, just was confused with the dates, and this went live without anyone knowing. Okay. Because you know why I also think this was a mistake now that I'm thinking about it, that Marvel just ran this not knowing when the Hasbro stream was, because Ryan and Dan are so great at teasing, hey, you're going to get a reveal tomorrow on their social medias. They're so good at teasing that, and this just seemed to have come out of the blue. Anyways, okay, let's get into this article. Coming soon to Hasbro Pulse and also Disney Plus, a brand new wave of figures from Marvel Studios' X-Men 97 has arrived. When the mutant mayhem picks back up in the original animated series, it'll feel like no time has passed, even though many characters have received a new look and updated. The latest wave of Hasbro Marvel Legends figures, joining those previously released this summer, hones in on their appearance from the upcoming series. Take a look at the newly released figures, images, and descriptions below. Chef's kiss and design, and over 20 points of articulation. The officially licensed Magneto. I think if we're clarifying that this is officially licensed Magneto figure, comes with 2 alternate hands and an alternate head for dynamic posability. Next up, we have Marvel Legends series Nightcrawler X-Men 97 action figure. We knew Nightcrawler was going to be in the series. It was in the Comic-Con footage shown not this last summer, but the summer before. So we knew he was going to be playing a role in X-Men 97. Apparently a significant role if he's getting his own figure before other characters. This collectible 6-inch Marvel figure is inspired by Nightcrawler's appearance in Marvel Studios' X-Men 97 animated series. Despite his good heart and gentle nature, swashbuckling teleporter Nightcrawler is often demonized for his physical mutations, including his indigo fur and a prehensile tail. The Marvel Legends series Nightcrawler figure features premium animation, accurate deco, I love that phrase, and design in over 20 points of articulation. The officially licensed Nightcrawler figure comes with 3 accessories for dynamic posability, including 2 alternate hands and an alternate head. Woo! I wonder what role Nightcrawler is going to be playing in X-Men 97. Is he going to join the team? Is he going to join Excalibur? Will we see his relationship with Rogue and Mystique further explored? Given the retcon in the series, are we going to see Destiny finally make an appearance in X-Men 97? Okay. Marvel Legends series Jean Grey X-Men 97 figure. This collectible 6-inch scale figure is detailed to look like Jean Grey from Marvel Studios' X-Men 97. Jean Grey is a powerful telepath and telekinetic mutant who has faced cosmic entities and world-shattering events in stride. has faced cosmic entities. Fine, she was in Beyond Good and Evil, so we'll wrap that all together. I would say just one cosmic entity, but yes, in she was in Beyond Good and Evil. She was in the Nexus of Time, so she did encounter cosmic entities there. Endlessly empathetic, and you know what? Empathy is something that's used to describe Jean in the X-Men anime series, right? Emma said it in the Dark Phoenix saga. She was here like because of Jean's empathy. She bonded with the Phoenix. The Phoenix itself, during the Phoenix saga, said that Jean could feel the crystal's pain where Phoenix could not. So Jean being empathetic is definitely a hallmark of the iteration of Jean in X-Men, the anime series. Endlessly empathetic, she serves as the heart of the X-Men. Agreed. And that's, by the way, Familia, we've talked about this endlessly on the podcast. The reason why she has a ponytail was Larry Houston wanted to really make her the girl next door that everyone could come talk to. So that's why she has her ponytail. The Marvel Legends Jean Grey figure features premium animation, accurate deco and design, and over 20 points of articulation. This officially licensed Jean Grey figure comes with 3 accessories for dynamic posability, including 2 alternate hands and an alternate hairstyle head. We're going to get into my thoughts on that alternate head. Marvel Legends Goblin Queen X-Men 97 action figure. This collectible 6-inch scale figure is detailed to look like the Goblin Queen from Marvel Studios X-Men 97. Now, Familia, this is I think this is spoiler territory. A Jean Grey doppelganger who shakes the X-Men to their core. Goblin Queen becomes a fierce enemy of the X-Men after her mind is corrupted by Mr. Sinister. So this is 2 things that sort of is going on here. One, so is Madelyne Pryor just going to show up to the mansion and they're going to try to like welcome her in? They're like, what the heck? I guess Sinister just cloned Jean, and Jean's like, no, I'm gonna take her under my wing. I'm gonna train her, and then she's gonna fall into Sinister's clutches. You know, that's one option. Or 2, the line here, who shakes the X-Men to their core. So are they gonna like one day just look at Jean and be like, wait a minute, are you Jean? And she'll be like, haha, I'm the Goblin Queen. We do know that Jean is pregnant at the beginning of the series, and this figure comes with a baby Cable. So is Jean not the one who's pregnant? Is that Madelyne? Here's the thing: if they do a swap between Jean and Madelyne, my thing is, I understand that Madelyne is an identical clone of Jean, but like even identical twins, you can tell them apart, right? And I've said this before: if an identical twin of my husband just walked in, I would know it's not my husband. And you can say, well, maybe, Sinister downloaded, all of Jean's consciousness to a certain point right there. And that's fine. But there's also environmental things that affect our bodies and the way we act and everything. So like Sinister can't clone a scar Jean has, right? Like I have a scar here on my hand. If I get cloned, this scar is not going to appear in my clone body. That Cyclops surely would notice. And if Cyclops doesn't notice, I hope that would be leaned into, like, hey, Cyclops, you didn't even notice that your wife was swapped. They'd be like, what can I tell you? Very self-involved. But I'm thinking what probably happens here, and I'm curious, maybe Madelyne is going to come to the mansion kind of like confused as to who she is, and they're going to be like, oh my God, you look identical to Jean. And maybe they're going to think that this is a Phoenix incarnation, but it's actually Sinister. I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do with Madelyne, but I will say, I mean, the figure comes with baby Cable. You know what I mean? So either Jean is pregnant. Oh, maybe since our Jean is pregnant and she's going to give birth, maybe clone Jean, Madelyne, is going to steal the baby and try to I don't know. That would be the reason why the X-Men are shook to their core, right? Jean gives birth and then the baby is stolen by Madelyne. Okay, so because Madelyne comes with the baby, they're doing Inferno. Obviously, they're doing Inferno. How are they going to do Inferno? Are they going to adapt it? So here are 2 things. One, the Jean we're seeing or we've heard is pregnant at the beginning of the series, right? The Comic-Con footage has basically confirmed that Jean is pregnant. That's either Madelyne. And the second option is that Jean gives birth to the baby after Madelyne arrives at the mansion, and Madelyne steals the baby for Sinister. Oh, I wonder if Sinister is going to send Madelyne to the mansion to retrieve the baby. And because it's a clone of Jean, it's gonna do two things. One, it's gonna make the team very confused, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, there's a clone of Jean here," and it's gonna throw the team in a ruckus, and which will allow her to take the baby. And the fact that she's a clone of Jean will help soothe the baby as it's abducted. I don't know. Oh my God. But anyways, I do think this is a little bit of a spoiler, copy here. But anyways, Goblin Queen becomes a fierce enemy of the X-Men after her mind is corrupted by Mr. Sinister. So we know Sinister is obviously at play here. The Marvel Legends series Goblin Queen features premium animation, accurate deco and design, and over 20 points of articulation. This officially licensed Goblin Queen figure comes with 5 accessories for dynamic posability, including alternate hands and power FX. All right, Marvel Legends series, the X-Cutioner X-Men 97 action figure. I'm so excited to get Carl in here. Oh, you have no idea how much I love X-Cutioner. This collectible 6-inch Marvel figure is inspired by the X-Cutioner's appearance in Marvel Studios' X-Men 97 animated series. A mercenary and weapons specialist with high-tech homemade tactical gear, Carl Denti, aka the X-Cutioner, is determined to make mutants pay for their perceived wrongdoings towards humankind. The Marvel Legends series X-Cutioner features premium animation, accurate deco and design, and over 20 points of articulation. This officially licensed, I love that line. That's such a legal copyright. This officially licensed X-Cutioner figure comes with 4 signature character-inspired accessories, including a lance and an arm cannon. Oh, it's getting an arm cannon. From the 90s, X-Cutioner is one of my favorite villains. I love the figure. I just, you know what, Laverian Lad and Hammy, nah, we got him. And you guys are getting this. The second he releases, you all are getting this. I am so excited to be getting the X-Cutioner. Oh, Familia. What a good surprise this was. And I love his design. I mean, I wish it would have had the bird, falcon, whatever logo for Friends of Humanity. I wish they would have had that instead of writing FOH on his belt. That seems a little like, I don't know, like cheesy. I think I was talking about it with my bro David down in Miami. It should have been like the falcon bird logo, and we would know. Obviously, us, the diehard, crazy, neurotic X fans would have known. So X-Cutioner is obviously going to have ties to Friends of Humanity in the series. All right, and finally, Cyclops. Marvel Legends series Cyclops X-Men 97 action figure. This collectible 6-inch Marvel figure is inspired by Cyclops' appearance in Marvel Studios' X-Men 97 anime series. The consistent and determined leader of the X-Men, Cyclops has a mutant ability to emit powerful red beams of energy from his eyes. Marvel Legends series Cyclops features premium animation, accurate deco and design, and over 20 points of articulation. This officially licensed Cyclops figure comes with an alternate head, optic blast FX, and 3 alternate hands for dynamic posability. That was very generic marketing copy, if I did hear so myself. Look how good he looks. So Ryan Panago's Agent M told me, Cyclops fans, you're going to be so happy with Cyclops in the series. Cyclops is done well. And again, from what we've heard of the Comic-Con footage, when he's interrogating Dyrick, when the X-Jet explodes and he lands, apparently he shoots his optic beams to the earth, and that's how he's able to land. He's here like, I don't need anyone to catch me. And he lands on the earth and he goes, to me, my X-Men, like that. And the X-Men assemble again. And this is just information I'm getting secondhand. I have to tell you, so excited for Cyclops. Oh, so excited for Cyclops. So excited for Cyclops. This figure looks great. I'm happy with it. I like the deco. Oh, there's the entire team. Look at Magneto. Magneto looks good. Jean looks good. Nightcrawler looks good. This looks like the Wendigo series Nightcrawler, in my opinion. This looks like the Wendigo series Nightcrawler, in my opinion, with the exception of like the deco. But that's fine. I guess he has like the, like kind of like the side parted hair. But I mean, he looks great. If it was, I may skip out on Nightcrawler, to be honest. I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to order the entire series, so I guess I am going to get him. But out of all of them, probably Nightcrawler's the one I don't really want. because I think he looks really accurate to a figure we already got. All right, let's go through this. Cyclops, boom, look at the optic beams. Look at that ab crunch right there. Are the belts around his thighs, are those going to be molded in? Like, I hate the other ones because they always fall, like they're kind of like rings that just always fall to his heels. Oh God, this looks really good. And I really do hope that with his chest belt, it's not the kind that you have to snap into place on the back, because that always goes crazy for me. It always like comes off. It doesn't look like. I think they've improved the technology. I can't think of the X-Men VHS Cyclops if they improved the technology on that. I'll have to check when I'm back in Miami next week. He looks good. Oh, look at that smirk. Oh, that smirk. I love Cyclops. We are Cyclops fans here. I know a lot of people are like, no, Cyclops is a terrible character. I think Cyclops has had a really great, interesting journey in the comics, and I'm a huge fan of him. X-Cutioner. Oh my God. So obviously he looks a bit different than he has traditionally looked in the comics, but this design looks so great. Oh my God, X-Men 97, you nailed it. Odemayo, you nailed this direction for the character. Look at it. Because I have to nitpick, because we have a X-Men podcast slash YouTube, and I have to nitpick. I don't like the FOH, as I already said. I don't like it. It just looks a little cheesy there, but it's fine. I would rather have the bird, the falcon design there, but I get it. You have to have FOH there for audiences to like really put it together. I think it would be too nuanced or obscure if you had the bird there. Oh, he looks so good. The original Toy Biz figure came with an unmasked head, and then you put like the cowl and the drapes over the figure. But I will take an arm cannon any day. Oh, I'm so happy. I love it so much. It looks so good. I'm curious about the fabric here with his tunic. My goodness, that looks so real, like real cloth, but I don't think it's cloth. Hats off to the Hasbro team. Truly. Oh, look at this side cape. It just looks so good. Look at all of his weapons. There's an issue of X-Men where Rogue and Nate go up against X-Cutioner. I loved it so much. I know he was in Marauders recently, so that's the last time I officially read, but a story concerning Carl, but it was that X-Men issue I just talked about him and Rogue, Nate and Rogue going up against Carl. That was the last time I really thought about the character, or read the character in real time. I'm not saying he hadn't appeared in comics, but that's the last time I like really latched onto it. I just have good memories of this character and buying the figures. Magneto, again, here's Magneto. He's looking very stoic in his purple costume. I wonder if we'll get a trial of Magneto situation, now that he's going to be more public facing. We know the mutants are going through a high at the beginning of the series. There's some kind of mutant acceptance. I wonder if, Magneto is going to be put on trial. They're going to be like, wait a minute, Magneto has terrorized us, has terrorized the United States, and now he's leading the X-Men. Like, no, he needs to pay for his crimes. Alternate head, obviously, for him, looks really good. And there she is, the woman of the hour, Miss Madelyne Pryor. Oh, gosh, with Bebe Cable. I know we still don't know the gender of the baby, but I think it's pretty obvious this is Bebe Cable. And again, they're making it as gender neutral as possible with this yellow. I think the baby would have red hair if it was Rachel. Just my opinion. They would give the baby red hair. I think it's pretty obvious that it's going to be Cable. But Madelyne looks great. It's interesting how they've rendered her here. Does she have green eyes? I'm checking. I can't tell if it looks like she has blue eyes. Yeah, she has blue eyes. Jean in the anime series has blue eyes. It was only during the Phoenix Saga that she had those green eyes. And we asked Larry Houston about that years ago. Me and Flink asked Larry Houston about that years ago. And he said the reason why he gave Jean green eyes in that moment during the Dark Phoenix Saga was to signify that was really Jean. But regardless of that, she's had blue eyes the entire time in the series. Jean always has blue eyes. Madelyne looks great. I don't know if I like the Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance one better than this one. To be honest with you, it's just two very different styles. This figure is perfect. This figure looks beautiful. So beautiful, so beautiful. Not even an issue. We're just splitting hairs here. But I like this one from more in the context of X-Men 97. I would have liked the grittier version that we saw for the Engine of Vengeance. But as we've discussed, I think this is the only way to get a Madelyne Pryor figure, and I will happily take it. Look at her power effect there. It looks like a little demonic demon. Goblin Queen with her little demonic goblin in her hand. Oh, she looks so good. Again, Nightcrawler, he looks great. I mean, they've built upon the technology they've already established for this figure. The tail looks absolutely wonderful. I love this side swoop. Oh, this side swoop air looks so good. So good. Oh, okay. I'm going to get him. This is a perfect wave, in my opinion. Absolutely perfect wave. So, not even a thing here when I say, oh, I may skip on Nightcrawler or Nightcrawler's low on my list. It's a perfect wave. And he looks good enough to be posed with just regular legends. All these figures, by the way, I'm going to tell you, Hasbro has walked a very fine line with this while being true to what's going to appear in X-Men 97 and also that can fit into your general collections. And there she is, our God Queen. Yeah, she's got blue eyes. Miss Jean has blue eyes right there. It's just how she was depicted. You know, we're such a stickler for Jean's eye color, because it was a big deal. Yeah, no doubt this is blue eyes. Now, here's the thing. This is a Paul Smith haircut right here for Jean, right? And listen, if this was anyone else doing X-Men 97, it would be like, oh, it's just coincidence. But because it's Bo DeMaio, and we know that Bo DeMaio has come out and said that anyone who was working in X-Men 97 had to be a fan of X-Men, this hairstyle is very, very particular to Madelyne Pryor, especially her first appearance. So I wonder if this is Madelyne posing as Jean. You know, again, how are they going to handle Madelyne? Is Madelyne always been Jean? You know what I mean? Like, and she's just, you know, the X-Men are like, what? Jean was replaced? Or is Madelyne going to come to the mansion with a specific motive to abduct baby Cable, you know, sent by Sinister? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but this is specifically, if you ask me, that is a Paul Smith haircut. That is Jean Grey Paul Smith haircut. And then here she is with the long hair and the pony. You know, this could be just us speculating and not knowing what the fuck we're talking about. But this Jean figure looks so good. This is a Jean figure I really wanted growing up. I'm like saving it on my desktop. I'm going to do a comparison shot with Paul Smith Madelyne. This is a Jean figure I wanted growing up. Oh, the packaging looks so good. It all looks good. We've seen some of these before. We haven't seen Madelyne before. Yeah, Madelyne doesn't have the Paul Smith haircut. But then again, Madelyne had the Paul Smith haircut and then during Inferno did not have it. That to me looks like Baby Cable. That's 100% Baby Cable. Are those Deadpool? Is that the Deadpool logo there? I don't know. To me, that's obvious. It's Baby Cable. I'm happy to be wrong, but it's Baby Cable. If literally Mini Dayspring would have gotten this figure growing up, just the packaging and everything, I would have gone nuts. I would have gone nuts. She looks different. Jean here looks different than she does in the animated series. One of the things I will say is the orange Hasbro uses here, right? The orange they use here. I wish it would be more that paler, like peachy color. I mean, even though here it looks kind of orangey, but in the animated series, it's more that like skin peachy color. It's fine. It's nitpicking. This is a great wave. I have not been excited for an X-Men wave since, I mean, listen, I've always been excited for Marvel Legends X-Men, but in terms of a slam dunk wave where I'm like, I really do need all of these figures, I haven't felt this way since wave 2 when the X-Men Legends returned with Warlock, right? That the Warlock wave with like Polaris, that wave I was insanely hyped for. This wave, I think this may be my favorite wave since then. I'm so excited. Anyways, it's 11:03. Going to jump to the Hasbro stream right now. It looks like the display model behavior list was right, Familia. Oh my goodness. These reveals, these figures all look incredible. So they went through the X-Men 97 Wave 2 figures. We already discussed this in the first half of this episode, which was just a second ago for you guys. But, you know, the one thing I'm going to point out is but they went through it and they did talk about how, you know, Marvel.com did reveal it, and it sounds like it was all a coordinated effort. So there we go. In terms of the figures that we got for the Wolverine 50th anniversary program, oh my gosh, we got Lady Mandarin, Psylocke, Betsy, which was referred to as Lady Betsy on the stream. I don't know if Lady Mandarin is just a term that Marvel doesn't want to push anymore, but it's in the armored, you know, that's her armored look. We all thought it was going to be the Australian Outback era version of Betsy, but instead we're getting this version. She looks great. She looks like she stepped right out of a comic book. I love it. I love the costume very much. I'm happy with this. This is not at all something I'm disappointed in. I'm so happy to be able to get that figure. She looks so good. And obviously, we also got word about Sabretooth is going to be paired with an Old Man Logan. She looks so good. So we are also getting Lilandra paired with a Brood Wolverine as inspired by Uncanny X-Men 234. Yay! Listen, I'm just happy to get a Lilandra figure. Dwight referenced the Marvel Legends poll that they did back in like the early aughts, where she was part of figures that we could vote on. And, you know, she didn't make it there, but then we got her as a head for the Walgreens exclusive Mystique. And now we have Empress Lilandra here paired with Brood Wolverine. I would have preferred the Mark Silvestri Inferno style Wolverine. I think if you really wanted to break the internet, you would have done X Factor Gene with that Inferno style Wolverine. And then, of course, we got Joe Fixit Hulk with Patch. We knew that was coming. Again, not much to say on that. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And then Wolverine in his civilian costume with a cowboy hat and a 90s era Sabretooth, which is very big and monstrous. And I think they compared him to the Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth. All fun reveals. All fun reveals. Nothing negative to say about those. They all look good. I want them all, and a lot of the art that they're using for the packaging is going to be used as covers over at Marvel. Of course, a big reveal was at the end where we are getting a Warren. Oh my God, in his angel costume, his red and white angel costume. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. So we have Warren in this costume. We have Iceman in his X Factor costume. We have a Gray Beast. We have Cyclops. You know who are we missing from this X Factor team? Jean Grey. Just give us an X Factor Jean Grey already. Oh my goodness, he looks so great. He looks like he stepped right out of the comics. He doesn't look like Brad Pitt anymore, right? Remember the other Red Angel we got that he looked identical to Brad Pitt? Back in the day from the Toy Biz era, we know that Toy Biz inspired a lot of the molds based off of actors. Oh my goodness. Looks so good. I can't tell you how happy I am with today's reveals. Again, I think had they not revealed the X-Men 97 Wave 2 yesterday on Marvel.com, I think you could have gotten so much more hype on what was already a slam dunk of a live stream. But, you know, we are getting those 2-packs. Shout out to Display Model Behavior because he reported on it like 6 months ago. So we knew these were coming. And the fact that we're getting Angel and Lady Mandarin, oh gosh, they look so great. You know, we had already seen Lilandra revealed. She's coming with her staff. I wish she would have come with an M'Krong crystal. When Ryan Ting was like, oh, you know, I didn't reveal the accessories for Lilandra. I'm like, ooh, M'Krong crystal. And it's just her trident and her staff, which is fine. Listen, fine. Wolverine, Cowboy Wolverine with the hat I posted with the image of Malibu Stacy with a new hat. But listen, it's a beautiful figure. These are beautiful figures. Hasbro is nailing it. with the Marvel Legends. I'm telling you, Familia, I hope anything that's going on with Hasbro and those rounds of layoffs is just a temporary, situation, because the market is evening itself out post-pandemic. We had unnatural highs for comics and books and action figures because everyone was in lockdown. But I really do hope this is just a minor hiccup and that we're going to even ourselves out in the future. But Familia, oh my gosh, this was a great live stream. I mean, Psylocke, Lady Mandarin, and Angel alone, these are figures I just want right now. I want them right now. All right, Familia, what were your feels on all of these reveals? Drop them in the comments below and we will chat about it as a community.